What is going on, you guys? Bastion YGO here, and today guys I want to go ahead and bring you guys my ban list prediction for either April or May 2023 Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG ban list. So with that being said, overall with the past few months we have seen a huge cluster of just random freaking decks topping and doing well, and Gate Guardians. I'm still on that. I still can't believe Gate Guardian actually won a duel, was going 5-0 on stream. Absolutely insane. Gate Guardian winning. Now we got Battle and Boxer support coming out, and it's just it seems like it's a weird time to be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there's no consensus #1 overall deck, but we do have more or less an understanding of what the top or best, most represented decks are going to be, and currently are in the current format. So with that being said, with the new cards coming out in Cyberstorm Access, I want to go ahead and bring you guys my updated 2023 April or May 2023 ban list predictions. So today guys, we're going to be checking out some of the cards that I believe are going to get either banned, limited, semi, or unlimited in this upcoming ban list. And let's go ahead and start a discussion down below. If your card is not on here that you desperately want to see gone, or you desperately want to come to 3, let me know in the comment section down below and let's talk about it together. But without further ado, we're going to start off with the banned cards first, guys. Number 1 is going to be on the banned card. It's going to be number 86, Mind Hacker. I think it's number 86, Mind Hacker. You know, the one that says, you banish a certain amount of cards and from your opponent's extra deck or whatever. That card is absolutely ridiculous. So with Mind Hacker, the issue with Kashtira itself is a very fair deck. And I don't mean that to be, taken out of context. I don't think Kashtira's zone locking thing is anything to sneeze at, perhaps. But what I'm trying to say here is, guys, that without Mind Hacker, it's tough to really understand. It's tough for someone to full zone lock you unless you have that card, because that card just facilitates so much for the deck. Kashtira specifically in general, right? So with that being said, I think that Mind Hacker has become a point to where it's making Kashtira just a little bit too toxic. Honestly, if it didn't have that card, then it really limits what the deck can essentially really just do. Maybe be able to zone lock maybe 2 or 3 max zones out of you, which still gives you a lot of playability, which you can argue then the Shanga Era should be limited, or Kashtira Birth, or Unicorn. Personally, I think by just hitting the Mind Hacker, it makes Kashtira a much more fair matchup, to the point where realistically the best option for them is still going to be ending on a Kashtira or Rise Hard Pass, which at that point is really just a Kaiju get over, or you bait the banish, and you're good to go from there, guys. So that's pretty much where we're going out with that one. The next card I see getting banned, guys, is going to be Branded Expulsion. This card is absolutely disgusting, absolutely just abused. I didn't know that it had come out so long ago. For some reason, I just see a huge resurgence of this card recently, and it's gotten to the point where it's really, really toxic, to the point where you can't even play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, normally in a situation like this, Konami is known for banning the other cards, right? For example, when we had Halki Fibrax, we got, a whole bunch of tuners. I could start listing them off, but the list would go on and on of tuners that just got banned because of Crystron Halki Fibrax. So with that being said, or Needle Fiber if you prefer that name. So with that being said, guys, Konami realistically will probably just hit Gimmick Puppet or Ross Disciple or whatever it might be. Realistically, Gimmick Puppet, which is definitely not the answer, because if you hit Gimmick Puppet, then you'll switch to Ross Disciple, and there's other cards you can go ahead and switch to that as well. So I think by hitting Brand Explosion, you hit the toxicity of the deck. Branded is getting the OTS reprints very, very soon for Branded Fusion. Congratulations to Branded players. It's going to be absolutely beautiful to go ahead and see. But with that being said, this is extremely toxic, and this does need to just be done away with, because essentially the other locks, I mean, the Newman lock can be easily outed. I mean, you activate, you can normal summon your Kashtira and then you just beat over it. It's only 1800 attack, 1800 or whatever defense I think it is. So there's really nothing too crazy. So Newman lock is not that hard to out. Ably lock, everyone's playing Lingaribos, so it's really not that big of a lock anymore. But the one thing that it does mess you up is going to be Gimmick Puppet, and you just don't know what to do with it because you can't do anything with it, and then you're just stuck there. So I think the Brand Explosion and Mind Hacker are going to be the only 2 cards I see getting banned in the next list, guys. I don't see enough in the format right now where I could consider banning other cards at the moment. Again, it is something that, of course, Konami is going to go ahead and probably look at all of our videos and say, haha, let's go ahead and hit them out of left field and ban, Sprite Blue for whatever reason. But those two cards, I believe, deserve to be banned and just make the game a lot more fun and a lot more fair for the overall field of players, right? Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the limited options. I have my list right here. So limit. You guys know I love playing Sprite. Sprite has been one of my main decks ever since the cards came out. I've actually loved the deck. Hitting Elf hurt my heart a lot. It made me go through a lot of refiguring out what I had to do with my life. But guys, let's be real here. Sprite is the only reason that Sprite is still doing as well as it does is because it is the most consistent deck of the format. Consistently, you can get out the exact same board over and over and over again, and it's not really like it's that strong. It has a few negations on board, but it can rebuild the exact same board like this, and that is essentially what makes Sprite so strong and so powerful. So what you need to hit here is going to be the consistency of the deck. You already hit the recursion with Elf. Ouch, Konami. Come on, that was uncalled for. One Elf would be nice. But hitting Sprite Starter, I think, is going to be the way to go in this scenario. Sprite Starter just gets your entire engine going to one card starter. You don't need anything else in your hand. You activate, you summon Blue Jet, and you go off from there. Summon your Gigantic or go into Elf, not Elf, Sprite Sprint, and you can go on from there, additional extenders and that and whatnot. In this scenario, Sprite players would most likely switch to playing Cyframe Gamma in the main deck with Cyframe Lambda and then Emergency Teleport to get another level 2 on board, which there is other ways to go ahead and play around it, of course, but Sprite Starter is just really, really good. I would not say it's the most impressive card, so limiting it is going to just hit the consistency of the deck, and overall I think it's going to make the deck a little bit even more fair than it realistically already is, but we're just aiming to hit the top best decks of the current format, right? So Sprite Starter 1, while it will hurt my feelings, I don't think Konami really cares a rip, or gives a rip about my feelings, so it's perfectly fine. Next card I have on the list is going to be a Runick Fountain to be limited. So okay, whoa, before you start flaming me in the comments, okay, calm down. So with Runicks in general, they just got new support, so this might not happen, but there is still a likelihood that it can. Runick is seeing a very, very high representation in play right now, not just Naturia Runick, Naturia Sprite, Naturia Life Twin Sprite, however you want to play the Runick cards, they are definitely going to be played. Runick Kashtira is also being played, I think, not necessarily as prevalent as the other two, but still. So Runick is pretty much taking over the meta, and the rise of Runick is really interesting, pretty much just now that we know that there's not as much graveyard interruptions. Now we're seeing Runick really pick on the come up again and really start to solidify itself as one of the main decks of the format. So how do you hit that? You just go ahead and limit the fountain to 1. Essentially, they still have Runick Gary, which they can go ahead and use to go ahead and get that card back. So it is something they can go ahead and still do. I think putting Runick Fountain to 1 limits the overall grind game of the deck. Very rarely, realistically, are they going into a second fountain unless it gets, you know, popped or where it might be. But I mean, not many cards are going to play spell trap removal in their main deck turn 1, so there is something that's left to consider. Even if you get evenly, you just leave Runick Fountain on the board and you're still good to go. You can still go ahead and do your interruption, things like that. So I think Runick Fountain going to 1. The deck is still going to be very, very playable. Realistically, they're only playing between 1 to 2 copies in the main deck regardless, but it's just a way to keep the deck in check, you know, just to avoid any type of unpleasantries, if you will, in the near format. So next card I have going to 1, guys. It's actually a card that's going to be coming off the ban list. Whoa, crazy. So I have Prank Kids Meow Meow Mew coming to 1 off the ban list. So Prank Kids Meow Meow Mew was absolutely absurd a few formats ago, right? It let you have double Butler, double Raigeki on board essentially with your Butler. It facilitated a 1-card combo with Prank Kids, but we've gotten to the point, guys. I mean, let's be real. Double board wipe that plays so hard into Nibiru. There's no way you can play Prank Kids and not play directly into a Nibiru. And so, with that being said, I think this is going to be a lot more fair for Prank Kids to come back into the meta. I think it'll be see a huge surge in popularity. We might see the Adventure Prank Kids engine come back into the format. I think it's definitely something that could happen. Will it happen? Who knows? But I think honestly, with the current format the way it is, we need a consensus tier 1 deck. Kashtira's getting hit, Sprite's getting hit. We need a new consistent tier 1 contender. I think why not prank kits at this point. I mean, essentially there's nothing that we're looking towards to in the near future, at least that I'm considering, that is showing anything of a tier 0 or a top best deck, so why not bring back prank kits? Essentially, it is and was one of the by far most dominant decks back when prank kits Meow Meow Mew was at 3. That card's still ridiculous and I don't think it should come back to 3, but at 1 I think it makes the deck a lot, obviously it makes the deck playable, because right now it is unplayable. I've tried and it is not working out, but I think prank kits Meow Meow Mew is good enough to come back to 1, at least off the list. For the semi-limited, I don't like this part essentially of the list. I did not touch semi-limit. I don't think there's anything gonna come back. I've seen a few lists, people think they're gonna bring back mind control or change of heart to 2, or what's it called, a cult by the grave to 2, or maxi to 2, and these are things that are just not gonna happen. Let's be real here, right? I mean, again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. My personal opinion, there's no way in hell it's happening. But for the unlimited, I have number 1 Recital Starling. Recital Starling, I mean, let's be real here. SPRIGHT, not SPRIGHT, Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade LYRILUSC hasn't seen 0 play ever since that we lost the Big Bird, Simorgh Bird link, because that card was absolutely nuts and deserves to be back. Actually, you could potentially bring it back now that Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds is kaput. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. That would be nuts, and I'm definitely go ahead and pick up the, well, not definitely, let's be real here, guys, but I would love to go ahead and play these, I keep saying SPRIGHT, Tri-Brigade LYRILUSC deck with the Simorgh Bird would be nice. I'm not talking about Simorgh Bird. I think Recital Starling has, you know, done its time. It came back to 2, and now it can come back to 3, no problem, realistically. Next card I think it come to 3, Spellbook Judgment. Spellbooks are absolutely doing nada in the current format, absolutely nothing. And again, Spellbook Judgment to 1 did absolutely nothing. We got reprints of Spellbook of Fate, which is cool. At least Fate or Judgment. Anyway, we got some in Maze of Memories, I believe. So it's so cool. We're getting reprints, things like that. But Spellbook Judgment is not seeing any play. Spellbooks in general are not seeing any play whatsoever. I think Spellbook Judgment can come back to 3, and then let's see if that's a problem, and then we'll correct it from there. Next card to come back to 3 is a really obvious one, guys. Pot of Desires. I don't get why it was banned to begin with. Maybe it was like had a combo with Cashier because you're banishing cards, or I don't really know how that would work, but I don't think that works actually. Never mind, forget I said that. But Pot of Desires can definitely come back to 3. No one's gonna play that 3 realistically, or very few decks will play that 3. I think maybe if Konami feared more 60 card variant decks, as are very prevalent in the TCG, in the OCG I should say, but they're only prevalent in the OCG because that Grasslook screener is the thing. Regardless, Pot of Desires should most likely come back to 3 at this point. I think that's goes without saying, guys. That's gonna be it for my Banlist prediction, guys, for the April 2023, May 2023 format. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is there a card that I missed? If there is, let me know down below, and I'll make sure to go ahead and reevaluate. We can potentially do like a second Banlist prediction down the line. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. We got a lot of fun content coming out. I'm gonna be making a lot of Battle and Boxers content. At least that's my plan. We'll see. But that deck is absolutely nuts, super crazy. Lithium 2300, absolute god, that provided the best list ever. In the description. Make sure you check that out, guys. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.